Peace, everybody. As many of you know, Bat ran into some legal trouble and now owes money to the courts. And like most of the people within our community, he isn't rich and has no way of paying off thousands of dollars in a timely manner. He's a dear friend of ours, and we're looking to help him out. So, 100% of our August Patreon proceeds will be donated to Bat to help him pay off his legal fees. Village Idiots, a photo zine that documents the graffiti of Bat and Ola in New York City during the summer of 2021, will be shipped to everybody who donates via our Patreon. The link to that is in our bio, and we're going to be posting the proof of donation at the end of August. So we really value everybody who's been showing love and helping us turn this into a vehicle for helping out people within our community. So immense thank you, and enjoy the episode.
The World Screaming Nov, Dumore Brown. It opens with a couple of quotes. My favorite quote at the beginning here is one that is supposedly from Eldridge Cleaver, but I don't know if it's really from him. It says, "No slave should die a natural death." And that quote really stuck out in my head, thinking about things in the past. And so the book starts, Moki G was dreaming again. And here's his dream. Big, muscular, sweaty black men with their shirts ripped off their bodies like the Hulk, in thongs and torn shorts, monstrous calves and steroid-filled bodies running, 30,000 deep, running together in the sun, all together in unison, working as one, with the same goals in mind. They are all physically what God wanted men to look like, 6'6", 275 pounds of raw muscle meat, and they're running in the sun, the very bright sun of Moki G's dreams. They're running over a bridge and they have smiles on their faces. They're black and Hispanic and they're big and they're beautiful. They're running over that bridge that connects Rikers Island to Queens. They've all been prisoners their entire lives. They've been kept in cages where they exercised and fought and have handled solitary and lost their minds and made alliances with other inmates and joined gangs and killed other inmates and have been humiliated and segregated and subjugated. And now is the moment, the time when all that pain and torture that they underwent begins to make sense. There was a reason after all. Chapter 2 starts by saying it was just a dream. Moki G realized as he awoke, sweating and excited, that was a dream, a daydream, a night dream, a dream I'm consumed by. Dig it, I can't stop thinking about the revolution. The revolution, la révolution. His whole life, Moki G's been looking for a revolution, looking for a cause. The hippies had a cause, niggas in 1776 had a cause, French Revolution was a cause, Castro had a cause. Where's my cause? I need something to believe in. Niggas give their life to beliefs. A life without belief, frenzied belief that can produce miracles, is a life wasted. A cause gives you a reason to wake up and an extraordinary way to face death. Moki G will get a real job. Trust me when I tell you this, it's a big deal for Moki G to have a real job. He's never held one down before. I ain't never had no job before, Moki G said to the mirror, so what can I do? What am I qualified for? I ain't no kid no more, and I ain't trying to take no little man bullshit job. I can't live with my sister and my mother and that beautiful fat baby and that freeloader baby's daddy no more. No job is good enough for me, Moki was convinced, but a job I must take. So he looks through the newspaper and doesn't see a job that he wants, but he says there is no job for me. There's no job for Moki G. I was smoking a joint with these hippies and I told them that there's no job in this country that I could take that doesn't support the evil empire. I asked those stone cats if I could join them following the Grateful Dead or whatever leader is singing their lives, but they said I'm too much of a homeboy. This hipster said to me that the one job that one can do to help fight Darth Vader Bush is to be a teacher. A teacher, the stoner said, can teach the disenfranchised and help change the social order. He said to Moki, pedagogy of the oppressed, Paulo Freire, and that's the way the peasants will rise up. So something that comes up in this book, and I can't read all the parts of the book, but something that comes up is this idea of the juxtaposition of a family history and U.S. history as we're taught it. And the thing about family history is that for many people we don't know family history, so it's like an imagined family history, at least in my family, I feel like there's a lot of make-believe shit. We're related to kings and queens, and we're related to wealthy people from the past, but I feel like there's a lot of things that are imagined and unknown in family history, and it's not just me. I feel like I've met a lot of people like that, and the same is true for American history. U.S. history is also kind of the way it's taught is almost taught through an imagined lens with imagination, and most of it is really unknown. It's covered up by so many different different for different reasons. Whether the victors write history or and suppress the ideas of the past or just whatever to want to make America patriotic, and so make patriotic teachings are taught rather than the truth, and so a lot of family history and U.S. history is imagined and unknown. Moki G's aimless walk found him drifting down Rockaway Avenue. As Moki G looked at the black man in a wheelchair with no legs selling Lucy's in front of the bodega, he asked himself hopeless questions like why bother and what's the point, and motherfuckers in jail is crazy, and these motherfuckers out here the biggest money grubbing capitalist pigs there are, and this hood is shit, and there's just no way, and that's the way it is, and nobody, especially people who live here, want change, so why care? Moki G supports the hood, so he bought 2 Lucy's and went in the store to buy a big can of Coors Light. As he waited online, 2 kids got into a screaming match in front of him, and one made a fist, screamed Nov, and bust the other kid in the face. The kid dropped. Moki G stepped over the kid on the floor and paid for his beer. Stumbling up Rockaway Avenue, drinking his beer, smoking Newports, Moki G was starting to think about the newest rap song, some commercial crap that doesn't even make sense. But the gods wouldn't let him go out like that. Destiny did not want Moki G to just give up. So at almost every corner they called to him. Nov, the wind screamed. Huh? What was that? Thought Moki G. Nov, a truck screeched to a halt. Nov, a kid screamed before he threw a brick at his playmate. Nov, a cat purred or noved. Why do I keep hearing that sound? It's not even a word, Moki G said to himself. First, the George Washington Bridge fell. It looked amazing, dreamlike. An explosion, a fireball, and then half of the GWB that connects to Manhattan dropped like the Twin Towers. Everything dropped like the Twin Towers. 9/11 happened over and over and over, with American flags burning, the world cheering, and the traitors in power left speechless, confounded, reading children's books to 4th graders. That hideous working-class Manhattan Bridge fell next. The Atlantic Avenue Mosque brothers happened to place themselves in just the right spots to twist the bridge into a Frank Gehry work of art, totally uncrossable, unusable without function. The Holland, Lincoln, Midtown, and Brooklyn Battery tunnels all broke with one suicide bomber each. A small hole was enough for the water pressure to flood and destroy the tunnels. In his dreams, Moki G is a bird, or a man with his arms out gliding like a bird, with fish flying next to him, and he is able to see everything. He flew to Bay Ridge to watch half of the Verrazano fall to the water. You remember when John Travolta was doing handstands on the edge of the Verrazano? Just like that, the Verrazano will forever be a memory. Oh, how sad, thought Moki G. I'll never see big bouffant hairdos again. I'll never get chased down Highland Boulevard. The Triborough was left untouched because a good portion of the liberated army would cross it in order to maintain and protect El Bronx. This is some crazy shit here, bro. The Brooklyn Bridge stood strongly as chaos erupted around it, just like 9/11. That beautiful bridge stood proudly with its chest out saying, "You niggas ain't tough enough to destroy me." As fireballs went up everywhere and massive structures crashed down, making earthquake rumblings and mini tsunamis in the Hudson River, the Brooklyn Bridge stood erect, unfazed. Even in my wildest dreams, thought Moki G, which this obviously is, I wouldn't destroy this bridge. Smith and Lady Pink were ushered to the Brooklyn Bridge with all the supplies needed and were allowed to do a huge RIP to Sane. Soon this whole city would be full of fresh pieces and bubbly fill-ins. But there would never be enough wall space to do a mural for every person who would lose their life in this revolution. Millions would die during the Great Brooklynian Revolution. Yeah, man. I guess I see, if I look back at this, I see a lot of 9/11 in my head, and like that shit really traumatized me. So I wanted to like not be like everybody else and be all patriotic at that time. So I kind of wanted to see 9/11 again. I wanted to see it over and over instead of being like, oh, never again, never forget. I think this book is kind of a testament to saying, fuck it, give me another 9/11. Yeah, I'll have another 9/11. How about, you know what, you think you're fucking hurting my feelings? I'll fucking have another 9/11 every fucking day. You know? And, that's what you see in this revolution. So this is from chapter 18. It's crazy how dreams are connected to reality. Sometimes you dream about what happened during your day, or you'll dream about things that you've read or watched. Sometimes dreams are a fantasy or show how truly scared you are about certain situations in your life. Moki G had a different sort of dream though. He'd been dreaming of a future where he had a say, a future where he meant something and intelligence meant something and everyone agreed. Moki G wasn't so much dreaming as he was divining the future while he slept. The cards were lined up for him since before his inception. In his dreams, he saw a world that could be, and he went after it. He worked towards it, and his dreams came true. 30,000 big black and Hispanic men, 6'6", 275 pounds. Well, you know all that. They is Diesel. They stormed out of Rikers, leaving death in their shadows. They stormed Queens, killing ancient Greeks in Astoria and battling the Incas in Corona. The Ming Dynasty warriors of Flushing were killed, as were the Nazi soldiers of Forest Hills. Alarms went up all over New York City as the bridges fell and tunnels were destroyed. People were freaking out all over, and the NYPD was called in to crush the insurgency. The captains and lieutenants who called for all units throughout the city on duty and off duty to come to Queens to stop the rebels had no idea of the hell they were leading their men into. Riot gear, tanks, guns, and bombs could not stop the liberated army. Out-of-shape, donut-eating pigs died of seizures during the battle because their brains couldn't process 30,000 big black and Hispanic men killing all in their way. Throughout the rest of the boroughs, homeboys down with the cause took control of all police stations and sabotaged their controls. For every soldier of Brooklyn that the NYPD killed, 50 cops died in the most painful ways. It's revenge for Diallo. It's payback for Baez. Lord, I'm gonna skip a little bit because this shit is fucking R-rated right here. The revolution never would have worked with just the violence that the forces from Rikers supplied. The people would have to agree with Moki G. They did. The secret code of Nov was out there, and all of Brooklyn was enthralled by its message. All followed Moki G, all skin colors and all backgrounds. Everybody gave up on their differences. Religion, which nobody really believed in anyway, although they fronted like they did. Religion was destroyed, and everybody was happier. The Jews all breathed a sigh of relief because they didn't have to front like they believed in those old words anymore. They took off their big mink hats and put on Kangols. Little Jewish boys smiled big smiles as they ripped their payas from the sides of their heads. The American Army and Navy and Air Force and Boy Scouts surrounded the tri-state area. They planned on attacking in the morning. I got boys all over the world, Moki G said. I got boys out in Haiti, Africa. Me and Chavez is boys. Me and Fidel is down. I got Mexican gangbangers and child soldiers in Liberia, son. 22. It starts like this. Mother, I love you. Please be proud of me. She is. She looks down from above and she is pleased. Mother Nature has sat by and watched thousands of years of human existence. She knew mankind when he was just a little baby. She used to change his diapers and feed him. She wantonly killed in places but also provided gloriously. She laughed for years at the childish stories and ridiculous customs humans made up, until she watched power-hungry thieves use those stories to control her children. She, Mother, has always been there, kind of in the background. Everybody's always been focused on God, the Father, the bloodline of man, the great-great-great-grandfather who we are to be sons of and take after and follow, but no one focuses on the importance of women. The Mother, she is the source of life, the source of the future. Her vaginal she-bitch breast milk can take it all away when she wants. She's watched human history unfold, and according to the victors, she's allowed the strongest to survive. She was on Brooklyn's side against capitalism, and she closely watched this story unfurl. She became fascinated with the philosophy behind the word Nov. She too wanted to scream it. Mother Nature screamed Nov in hopes of wiping out all mankind and start some new shit. Nov, box outwards, a new world. The whole planet at this moment was in perfect peace, all following Moki G. Not a corrupt soul on the planet. The last selfish bastard had just been killed in Moscow. Moki G was finishing up his red wine and everybody on Earth smiled. Mankind went out on top, the best it could be. They reached that nirvana. The wars, the bloodshed, right and wrong, good and bad, none of that matters now. Mankind realized its potential and was rewarded with oneness with the Father. Mom, Dad, and children were all back together again. The family was complete. Hurry up, take a picture. For one moment in time, transcending all time, oneness. Mother Nature loved her children so much that she screamed Nov, boxed out, and ended it all. The result was beauty, a new world.